So I learned that I had no idea what anarchy was. I've learned that in trying to just prep for this episode. I think I thought what most people think of, which is Mad Max, crazy, tons of violence, chaos, no order whatsoever.
We have that now.
Right.
Not Mad Max, but certainly like 2020 showed that the government can be perfectly happy with mass violence and will incarcerate the people who, like Kyle Rittenhouse, who are doing their noble duty to prevent it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I learned that it's actually like a collective. Everyone's getting along, but it's, I guess, by volunteer and willingness and not through power and force. And the idea that there isn't a hierarchy, but isn't.
That you are
is
going to
that
have some
true?
hierarchy. Yes.
Okay, because everything that I've seen, they make a point to say no hierarchy, and I was like, I
That's
don't
not
think
possible.
that's possible.
Right? That's the like anarcho-communist version, which
Okay.
I think is completely impossible
Me
because
too.
even animals have something called a pecking order. That's where the term
Right.
comes from. So in any situation, naturally a hierarchy will emerge.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you have the town hall, which is the most kind of pure example of democracy, someone is still picking on people to talk, someone is setting the terms of debate, someone has the timer. That is an elite. So even there, you're going to have some kind of hierarchy. It's going to be someone's hall. Someone's going to be maintaining it. They're going to have more power over others.
And if there's no voting, though, like who's to say who's at the top? Because
Well,
isn't that just going to turn into violence?
well, who's at the top on the show?
Of the show?
Yeah.
You, definitely.
No, it's Chatting with Candice. It's your show, right? You invited me here. You could tell me to F off if you want to. So it's this is your domain.
Yes.
And we could talk about what you want to talk about or not talk about what you don't want to talk about, right? It's your house.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever's domicile it is going to have control over that. So it's a private society where whoever's property is or location is going to have jurisdiction.
So there's still private property.
It's all private, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because there's a ton of different versions, and then some of them were like, there is private property, there isn't private property.
Yeah, the black flag comes in many colors. Yeah, but the whole thing about this tragedy of the commons is this kind of thing where like, yeah, you should be able to, smoke crack in the library because it's public property. And I don't think that is a coherent or sustainable approach.
No, and you kind of see that in San Francisco.
Right.
Right? Like you do this thing out of fake empathy and it ends up costing everything, the whole community around it, and everything kind of crumbles. So it seems similar to the non-aggression
yeah,
principle.
That's correct.
Right? So as long as it's not hurting anyone else.
Correct.
So where does that begin? Because my understanding, and maybe it's different because like I'm a woman, so I think things that'll seem aggressive to me are going to probably be different, and the law kind of leaves room for that, especially when it comes to carrying. So something that I would perceive as a threat to my life would probably not be the same thing to you.
Well, threat and aggression is not the same thing.
Okay, so what's the difference?
Well, like meaning if there's like a loud nightclub and you feel threatened, that's not really someone aggressing toward you personally.
Well, if you have someone that's looking at you and they say like, I'm going to hurt you.
Well, that's very much a threat, yes.
Right, so that would be violating the principle.
Yes.
And you'd have the right to defend yourself.
Yes, of course.
That's what I thought too. And someone was telling me I was completely wrong.
Who
and
was
I was
telling you this?
Gerard.
Oh.
And I was like, no, but that is.
You don't get to pull out a gun and be like, your wallet or your life, and then you'd be like, well, they weren't threatening me. I chose to give my wallet.
Because I guess it's just words. It's not like, brandishing a weapon.
But that's a threat.
But if you're
that's
bigger,
the definition
stronger,
of a threat. Even if you're
yeah.
not bigger or stronger.
Yeah.
If a small person comes up to you and says, give me your wallet, they're threatening you.
Mm-hmm.
They could have a knife. They could have someone behind you. You don't know.
Yeah.
The hell? Yeah, no. But he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I thought so too. I was like, I would think that definitely falls into.
That's the definition of a threat.
Yeah. Okay. I got one. Haha.
Like I can tell you right now, I'm going to hurt your kids, right? I'm not really going to do it, but I'm threatening them.
Mm-hmm.
Even though there's literally zero chance I'm going to do this, but I just threaten them.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's up to you to see if you're going to take it seriously or not. Obviously, in this case, you're not going to take it seriously. I'm not going to hurt your kids, but like that is the definition of a threat.
Mm-hmm.
If a stranger walks up to you and says this, how is that not a threat?
Mm-hmm. So that'd be kind of the format for, I guess, code of conduct or law.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have a whole bunch of laws. It's just basically non-aggression.
But also be like here's the thing. Have you ever tried to buy a sweater at McDonald's?
No.
Right. Because McDonald's has you can buy these things here. This is how you can behave here. You could probably be loud at McDonald's. Some kind of cigar bar would have a different set of rules.
Mm-hmm.
And we navigate these worlds all the time. You know what you can buy in one store, what you can't buy in another store. You know you have to be quiet in a library, and you could be screaming at a concert. So people act like it's like, oh, this is so confusing. this is already our reality that, even on the internet, like, you could buy this on Amazon, but for this, you have to go someplace else. It's complicated, but it's the kind of thing that everyone already just has a second nature.
So would you use the free market to establish what was allowed and not allowed? Basically, if someone wasn't allowing, and if people weren't buying the thing, then obviously there's no demand for it, so
Correct.
it doesn't exist.
Correct. Yeah.
So like sex robots are totally fine in anarchy land.
Well, yeah, I don't see. Yeah, I know. Totally fine. I don't like the word totally fine, because just because something is, for example, not tipping would certainly be legal under anarchism. I wouldn't say it's totally fine.
Right.
Now, you could certainly have a restaurant where they're like, okay, we added the tip automatically. You don't have a choice. Or in our culture, this is some kind of weird European restaurant. I don't say weird. Some European restaurant tipping is not, we don't have tipping here. It's insulting. In Japan, they don't tip. So please don't tip. But again, it'll be case by case.
Mm-hmm.
So just because something's allowed doesn't mean it's perfectly fine.
No, that's true.